The opinions and views expressed by guests on the Golden Nuggets health and wellness shows do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the host or those of the station. Additionally, any medical advice shared by guests is not intended to replace the advice provided by your healthcare providers. It is important to exercise discretion and take responsibility for your own health choices. While the Golden Nuggets health and wellness shows aim to provide valuable information on holistic health for the mind, body, and soul, individual circumstances vary, and what works for one person may not be suitable for another. Viewers and listeners are strongly encouraged to consult with qualified healthcare professionals, nutritionists, or other relevant experts before making any significant changes to their lifestyle, diet, exercise routine, or adopting new practices discussed on the show. These professionals can offer personalized advice based on your specific needs and health status. The host, guests, and producers of the Golden Nuggets health and wellness shows disclaim any responsibility for consequences arising from the use or misuse of the information provided. By engaging with our content, you acknowledge that it is not a substitute for professional advice, and that you will seek guidance from qualified professionals as needed. Thank you for being a part of our health and wellness community.
Welcome to Golden Nuggets Health and Wellness Show, the television program that's redefining self-care for the mind, body, and soul. I'm Dr. Star, licensed mental health counselor, health and wellness consultant, and your host for this show. Our mission is simple: to empower you with creative and innovative self-care strategies that help you prosper and be in good health even as your soul prospers. We're so excited that you have joined us for our third season, The True Meaning of Resilience, Turning Lemons into Lemonade. And throughout this season, we're not only identifying self-care strategies for building resilience, but we're also sharing testimonies of the remarkable ability of resilience to transform lives. In each episode, our guests will describe their lemons and share how they squeeze them into lemonade that's refreshing, inspiring, and impactful. I love what Elizabeth Kubler-Ross said. She said, "The most beautiful people we have known are those who have known defeat, known suffering, known struggle, known loss, and have found their way out of the depths. These persons have an appreciation, a sensitivity, and an understanding of life that fills them with compassion, gentleness, and a deep, loving concern. Beautiful people do not just happen." Isn't that a beautiful quote? And joining us today is one of those beautiful individuals in the person of Doris E. Golder. Welcome.
Welcome, Dr. Star. It is a delight to be here today. And I want to say congratulations to you for your third season. That is absolutely marvelous.
Well, thank you. Thank you. We're so glad to have you. And could you just tell us a little bit about you and what you do?
Most certainly. I am a school counselor licensed, K through 12, and I help our children. I couldn't put it any clearer than that.
That's a wonderful thing.
I have worked for the Indianapolis Public School System and also for the township. And I have been coordinator over various programs just to help them to navigate through life. Many of our students don't know what to do and where to go and even how to even get there. So I'm called on to help them to move, and also the parents, because sometimes the parents, they don't know what to do either, and they're wanting help. So I try to help them with that. I ran a Parents Are Successful Students program, which were teen parents.
Awesome.
And I wanted them to graduate successfully. I wrote grants so that they were able to get college scholarships scholarships. And so I am just so pleased to just to say that some of them are a president of a bank, some of them are lawyers, and we were just blessed to be able to see them successfully finished.
That is awesome.
Also, I am the president of Divine Strategy, and that is just a ministry that, again, helps people navigate. We all have talents, we have gifts, we have abilities, but we don't know how to move with them. So that's when I come in, my team and I, and we help them to say, you know, I want to do this, but I don't know how to move there. You may have a gift of exhortation. You may have a gift to navigate through craftsmanship or whatever, technology. We do that. We help them to get where they need to go. So in a nutshell, I do many things,
I see that.
But above all, I help people.
Multi-talented, multi-gifted. That is wonderful. Thank you for your service to our children, their parents, and then helping people who are struggling to find their way through life. What a gift.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, I'd like for you to share with our audience, what is your story of lemons?
I looked that word up because I wanted to really define it for myself, and it says bitter. It says challenging, and the word that I really loved is distressed. And I think that's what I felt when I went through the situation that I did, and it is the journey of life. I went through grief, and I do want to share with the audience that grief is normal. I didn't know that. I try to be strong in everything that I do. But when I lost my husband in 2021, and also I lost my big brother, my childhood friend, also 3 months later, I was devastated. As the children would say sometime, it rocked my world. I didn't know what to do. I had taken care of my husband for a period of time, and he didn't want me to put him in a nursing facility. He was a 4-time cancer survivor, and he was cured every time. But through that journey, his body became weak, and the cognitive ability began to wane. And so I had just begun to pray, which is, for me, is what I do. I began to pray and ask God, what should I do with my husband? I don't want to put him in a nursing home. He had asked me not to do that. And I said, honey, don't put me in that position. But I prayed again, and he was a Korean War veteran. And so I knew that I could get help for him. And so as we journeyed through that for 4 years, I took care of him. I just turned my home into a nursing facility. And VA helped me, that let people come in that were CNAs and helped me to care for him. And it was really an experience. And my brother, again, he was my childhood friend. He died 3 months later, and I just went to nurture him. We talked about the good times. We had good memories. So lemons, yes, distressed at the beginning, but as I moved through it, I could feel that the Lord was with me, and he helped me through both those instances.
Truly lived that scripture that God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble.
That's one of my favorite.
Oh, really?
Yes, one of my favorite. And he's the lifter up of my head.
So many people have lost loved ones.
Yes.
Especially during COVID. And even after COVID, people just continue to die. We see death, loss of parents, loss of children, loss of grandchildren. And I'm sure that there are people that come to you for comfort and support because of your experience. But before we go there, could you just tell us, walk us through that loss experience? What were some of the things you experienced in terms of symptoms, challenges? Because the loss of a husband has to be a very deep, profound loss. Can you walk us through that valley?
I will be glad to. That's what it is to Dr. Star. It's a valley. It's a valley sometimes you wonder if you ever get out of. Every day I got up, and for me, I had to pray. Lord, help me to be able not to snap at him, not to get upset with him, because we're human. We have those tendencies, and sometimes they come strong, that we don't feel well, And so, you want to take it out on someone. But when someone is sick, you don't do that. So I ask God for wisdom to help me. Wisdom to even work with the caregivers, because sometimes they didn't come with very good attitudes. And so I pulled them aside and I said, look, I know you left home. Maybe there were some things that wasn't like you wanted to be, because, they had children, and I can understand when they leave, they had to take the children to nursery school, or maybe to take them to maybe a formal education. I don't know. But I asked him, I said, when you come through the door, try to have a smile. And I tried to have a smile every day. When I walked into his room, I said, honey, what can I do for you today? I said, you look so nice, so handsome. They brush your hair good and brush your teeth and all of that. So we talked about, what am I going to do when he leaves? That was very trying for me. He kept talking about it, and it just kind of put me into the alert that he's getting me prepared. So he said, honey, you're okay, you're strong. He said, I married a strong woman. I said, I'm not as strong as you think I am. I said, I've gone through a lot. I said, I've cried when you haven't seen me cry. And he said, why do you cry? I said, I cry because I'm sensing that the time is coming that you won't be here. So there was things that we just talked about, and then I took him out sometimes. We had an ice cream cone. I had a hard time getting him into the van, but I did it. My son, he's an adult now, he helped me. And he said, Mom, it's too much for you. I said, nothing's too much for your father. He's been good to me. He's been good to us. He's provided the financial obligation for you to go to college and to complete. So there were some great things that I learned, even in the valley, that was so good for me.
So not only supporting him and keeping him encouraged, but also having to keep the staff in the right mindset to support you and your husband.
Right.
Did you ever experience emotions that you had to ask God to help you with? Because in the grief process, the grieving process, you not only experience shock initially, sometimes there's anger that sets in. And that anger can be sometimes anger at the person. I've heard some people share how they were angry at their loved one because their loved one didn't take care of themselves or take their medication, or angry at God, that God would even allow this to happen, that God hasn't healed. Did you struggle with any emotions that you had to give to God?
I certainly did, Dr. Starr. I really struggled and was challenged by my identity. Why me? Why am I going through this? And then my thoughts went back to the book of Job and what he went through. Even as his friends came and talked to him, they weren't very enlightening. But I thought about that. I said, Lord, I know I'm going to get through this because you promised you'd never leave me nor forsake me. And so that was a real eye-opener. I'm here. And the scripture that you had said earlier, that you are a present help in the time of trouble. So through the tears, I did smile. Through the tears, I did laugh. And through the tears, I was victorious, that I did all I could for my husband.
What a beautiful story. Pain, of hurt. I work with clients that have grief and loss. And one of the challenges is managing those emotions.
Yes.
That's why I asked you about that.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
And we're going to come back, and when we come back, I'm going to share some nuggets about how to build resilience. And then our dear guest is going to come and share how she turned those lemons into lemonade. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Feeling Anxious? Perhaps you're dealing with a past trauma and don't know where to turn for help. Turn to Unlimited Possibilities. We provide a safe and caring space for individuals and families to help improve the quality of their lives. Whether you need help with spiritual matters, trauma, depression, and more, Unlimited Possibilities can help you overcome your situation with compassion, acceptance, respect, and empowerment. Unlimited Possibilities, where all things are possible if you believe. Call or visit our website today. Dr. Star, best-selling author of Golden Nuggets, Food for the Mind, Body, and Soul, is also a health and wellness speaker and consultant who provides motivational speaking, training conferences, and one-on-one coaching to improve the quality of life. She's passionate about helping people heal from the inside out. Dr. Star provides creative and innovative self-care strategies that empower you to prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prospers. Call or visit the Golden Nuggets website today.
Welcome back to Golden Nuggets, Health and Wellness Show. For those of you just tuning in, I'm Dr. Star, and joining us is Doris E. Golder of Divine Strategies, LLC. Before we allow our guest to share how she squeezed her lemons into lemonade, I'd like to share some information with you about resilience. Resilience is the ability to cope with and recover from setbacks. With practice, anyone can become resilient. More than anything, resilience comes from mindset. By controlling how you think about a situation, you can control how you respond to the situation. Here are 4 self-care strategies for building resilience. 1, focus on what you can control and accept the things you cannot control. 2, adopt a growth mindset. View hardships as opportunities for growth. Ask yourself when you're going through a difficult situation, what can I learn from this? 3, seek support. You can gain new insights and ideas to manage things better. And 4, face your fears. This builds confidence. Avoiding fears leaves the problem unresolved. Now that I've shared golden nuggets with you on how to build your resilience, let's turn to our guests now. And I'd like to ask my guest, what strategies did you take to squeeze those lemons into lemonade?
Well, when my husband passed, I began to, as I said, for me, is my lifeline is prayer. I began to pray and ask the Lord, what direction should I go from here? I have a brand new chapter, so what do I need to do? So he shared with me, take and gather all the notes in your journal that you wrote as you were caring for your husband, which was quite a few. He said, I want you to write. I want you to write so other people will know the things that you can help them through your publishing. So with that, I began to write, and I was able to publish a book. I use it sometime on my devotion in the morning time at my church. I will just put some nuggets in there and share with that also. But the Lord just really helped me to be able to do that. And I have a copy of my book today.
Wow,
and,
that is wonderful.
And it was released.
The Power of Relentless Prayer and Resilient Faith. Look at that.
Resilient faith. And I use the word resilient because when you mentioned resilient in the information that you shared with me on the email, I thought, boy, strong, buoyant, all those things that I had to be as I took care of my husband. So I'm excited about this, and I've got a lot of great reviews on this book. People said it's really good, it really has helped them. And
where can readers or audience find this book?
They can find this on Amazon.com, and also I have a website, which is www.divinestrategies.com. and many of the fine bookstores, you can find it also.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I'm really pleased with that. And along with that, I've just been really talking to people and just sharing with them not only my experience through loss, but how I can help them if they need to be helped or if they just want to talk. And that's what I usually do.
That is beautiful. Now, is this done through your business, through their church? Because I'm sure there are a lot of people, right, that call on you for help. Can you share a little bit about how you provide your services? Because I know you speak from prayer a lot, so
Yes.
Is this something you're doing as you're praying with people? Is this something that you do through your church ministry? Share that with us.
Well, several ways. Through my ministry, Divine Strategies, when people call me or they email me, and they will just ask me, what can I do if I have a problem, trying to walk through a loss? What do I do? And I have to be very watchful in what I say. I'm always trying to be encouraging. I love the marriage and family therapist, Norman Wright. He is so good. One of the things that he said was, be an active listener with people. And that's what I do more than anything. I will listen. I may be in a grocery store and I can just, behind me, someone said, I just feel real down today. I don't know what it's about. I don't always turn around and ask, but I said, can I help you? What can I do to help you? And they said, well, if you would just listen to me. And again, when I do that, I have to know a little bit more, and then I tell them what I do, and that's been really a blessing. I even work through my church at times. I work with our ministers, and I provide help for the ministers. Even when I go down to the front of a congregation, oftentimes our pastor will ask, is there anyone here that needs prayer? Please come down. And so I will go down and I'll just kind of stand there, and then I'll even ask the Lord, is there anyone here that I can touch today? Is there anyone here that I can help today? And he will direct me to that.
What a beautiful gift. And I agree with you that sometimes in the grocery stores, people can start a conversation about their pain or their suffering, and just the beauty of being there, to be able to provide love, support, and comfort. And sometimes, you're like the angel in their life, there when they need you. I'll never forget, I had this experience. I was just with friends in Chicago, and we were enjoying a cruise on the boat, and we finished our meal, and we stepped out on the deck. I don't know where this lady came from, but she just walked straight up to me, and she starts talking about her problem. I'm looking around like, is this really happening? Is this really happening? And she just starts talking to me like we've been knowing one another for years. And my friends walked off, and I'm like, where are they going? They're leaving me. And later on, I asked them, why did you leave? They said, because you were on assignment.
Right.
I thought, wow. But this lady just started talking about her problems, and I thought, well, let me just listen. As you said, the gift. We call that the gift of presence. It's where you don't say anything. You just do what you're doing. Nod your head, you smile, you just listen. And that's all I did. And when she got done talking, I said this to her, wow, I'm so proud of you. Because she mentioned something that she had accomplished in spite of all of her trouble, and she broke down crying. And I thought, oh my goodness, did I say the wrong thing? And she's just sobbing, sobbing. Yeah. And when she stopped, she said, no one's ever said that to me. I guess that was what she needed. Right. So sometimes you can be an angel, can't you? And it sounds like that's what you are to people. You had to suffer loss of your husband, your dear brother, but look at the lemons that you've turned into lemonade through your book. It's a blessing to people. The service in church, praying with people. I think it's a wonderful thing.
Thank you.
Do you see yourself as a gift?
I do. I really do. I love to write, and I've noticed lately I have been getting note cards. and I will send inspirational thoughts and motivational nuggets to people. Just even as I pass by somebody, I will just send it to them, and they open it up, not knowing what's in it, and they just smile. And I could see even a glimmer of a tear that's getting ready to fall, because we don't know what people are going through. We read and we hear, but if we were to sit and let them talk, it would be overwhelming for us. So I try to be that person. I try to be there for the people that feel like they don't have a voice.
Wow.
That's what I like.
Wow. So there's power that comes through pain. You know, I've heard, I think it was T.D. Jakes who preached that, the price
Right.
of having power that transforms lives, that can go right to the source of a person's pain.
Right.
So there's a price you have to pay, isn't
Right.
there?
Right. Right. I was thinking about Mother Teresa the other day. She was, as you know, a nun from Calcutta, India. And when I think about her, I think about her dedicating her life to that country, impoverished, poor. That's a loss, because they're there, they need help. So when she won the Nobel Peace Prize, she donated all that money back to her country. She was a voice for them, the voice for loss. And I just get so excited when I think about that. That's what I'd like to be, the voice for those, that feel they do not have one.
To me, that is a true disciple of Christ. You know, when you walk in the footsteps of Jesus. And I love reading the Gospels, because I just love watching Jesus at work. And then I ask myself, am I emulating that? Because that's the best example, isn't it?
It is.
He always focused on others' needs. I mean, he didn't neglect himself in the process, but
Right.
he had tremendous compassion. And that's what I'm hearing from you today. What a story. What a story of love. What a story of compassion. What a story of patience, because it also takes patience.
Yes,
you know?
it does. It does.
You were going to say something?
I was just going to say that word, compassion. He said he walked around the countryside full of compassion. And that's what I asked the Lord. I don't want to be vulnerable to the point that I'm taken advantage of course.
Sure.
But the Lord just gives me that prompting as far as compassion.
Yes, it's the balance act.
Right.
It's taking care of you, not neglecting you, practicing the self-care, because Jesus did that as well.
Yes, he did.
Right?
He went away.
Ate, he rested.
Yes, he did.
He prayed, he went alone. Absolutely.
Yes.
So it's knowing how to take care of you as you care for others. Thank you
Right.
so much for all that you're doing, making a difference in the world. And I'm so glad that you heeded the call to write.
Thank you.
And I just pray God's continued blessings upon you and your service.
I received that.
Amen, amen. Well, our time is up. Thank you, Doris, again. Thank you so much for sharing your lemons and how you turned those lemons into lemonade. We really appreciate
Thank you, Dr. Starr. I really appreciate being here.
Absolutely.
Blessings to you.
Thank you. I received those as well. And to our audience, thank you so much for being with us today. And I just want to encourage you that when life throws you lemons, which they will, make lemonade. Goodbye for now.